Today marks a year since a tragic murder took place in Rock Hill. Police saying a former NFL player went to a home and killed 6 people before taking his own life, and police still don't know why. Among the victims were James Lewis and Robert Shook, who were doing HVAC work at the home of Rock Hill's Dr. Robert Lesslie. Dr. Lesslie, his wife Barbara, and their grandchildren Adah and Noah were also killed. In the 12 months that have passed since that day, the families of the victims have struggled to cope with the loss.
And today, the First ARP Church in Rock Hill, where the Leslies are members, is holding a day of prayer honoring their lives. WCNC Charlotte is respecting the family's wishes and giving space to those who are mourning right now. But WCNC Charlotte's Indira Eskieva is joining us live in the studio to talk about your experience, Indira, speaking with the father of one of these victims.
Yeah, Vanessa, Fred, I had a chance to sit down with James Lewis's dad. James was a single father to 3 children, and he was doing work at Dr. Leslie's home along with a colleague. Now, his father tells me time does not heal all wounds, but he's learning to live with the loss.
It's an understatement to say that there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. There's really not an hour that goes by that I don't think about him.
Thomas Lewis tells me his son James was his best friend. The 38-year-old dedicated his life to his parents, his children, and the woman he planned to marry. But a routine work call at a home on Marshall Road turned deadly when police say he was shot and killed along with 5 others.
The past year is pretty much a blur. That call is still crystal clear to me. It's like it was made this morning.
Thomas Lewis's life changed drastically that day. His health has deteriorated. He suffers from insomnia, and when he does sleep, he dreams of his son.
He liked to laugh. He liked to laugh. He loved good jokes. He loved pranks. He loved to fish.
Lewis shares this pain with the Lesslie and the Shook families. He says he returned to the Lesslie home to see where his son spent the last moments of his life. As the days pass, Lewis says he's noticing his grief changing. He's now trying to focus on the good times shared with his son and not the events that happened a year ago.
38 years old. No parent should outlive their kid.
After the shooting, a GoFundMe was started for the families of Robert Shook and James Lewis. It raised $400,000, which was split evenly between the families. The Lesslie family also shared a statement with us. Jeff Lesslie, who lost both of his parents and his 2 children that day, said this, quote, "It has been a year since our community came face to face with the unbelievable. In the minutes, days, and months since, our family has remained fixed on the eternal hope we have in Christ." Reporting in the studio, Indira Eskieva, WCNC Charlotte.
Such a difficult story. Indira, thank you so much for passing along those accounts from those families.